Today we're doing Module 5, Lesson 7. The objective of today's lesson is to identify and represent shaded and non-shaded parts of one whole as fractions. The materials needed for today are your online whiteboard or your whiteboard dry erase marker and dry eraser, and you also may want your fraction strips to reference. The teaching style we're going to follow is where I do it, we do it together, and then you do it on your own. First, I'm going to show you an example. You can see we have a fraction strip here. If we count the pieces in the fraction strip, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So the fraction strip we're looking at is fourths. And it says shade one part of the fraction bar. So shading is coloring in, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to color in one part of the fraction bar. Then it says when one part of the fraction bar is shaded, which is what we did, what fraction is shaded? Okay. Well, I've shaded one piece out of 4 pieces altogether. So the fraction that I've shaded is 1/4. But then it asks another question. What part is not shaded? Well, we know from looking at our own fraction strips, if you have them in front of you, that each piece is 1/4, because each piece is 1 out of 4 pieces. Well, we have 1, 2, 3 pieces that are not shaded out of the 4 pieces altogether. So 3/4 of the fraction bar is not shaded. 1/4 is shaded, 3/4 are not shaded. Okay, let's go ahead and have you try one with me. First, I'm going to give you a moment to draw this fraction bar on your whiteboard. If you see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So you need a fraction bar broken into 8 pieces or eighths. If you would like to help you draw it, you can grab out your eighths fraction strip and kind of line it up next to your whiteboard. But you will need to draw it on your whiteboard. You can't use the fraction strip you already have because we don't want to color on it. Okay, if you have your fraction strip drawn already, I want you to count how many pieces you have. Make sure you have 8, because if you start with the wrong number of pieces, it's going to throw off our answer. So double check that you have 8 pieces, and then we'll continue. Okay, let's take a look at the question it's asking. When one part of the fraction strip is shaded, what fraction is shaded? So now on your fraction bar, I want you to shade one piece, and it doesn't have to be completely filled in because we don't want to waste all our ink. Just go ahead and shade one piece. I'm going to label what I shaded. You don't have to. I've shaded one piece out of the 8 pieces altogether. So when this one part is shaded, what fraction is shaded? Go ahead and write on your whiteboard what fraction is shaded right now. Okay, you should have wrote that 1/8 is shaded. 1 out of the 8 pieces is shaded. So now that brings us to the next question. What part is not shaded? Go ahead and count. What part is not shaded and write that fraction down on your whiteboard. Okay, so let's count what part is not shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the pieces are not shaded. And we know that there's 8 pieces altogether because we broke our fraction strip into 8 pieces. So that means that 7 out of the 8 pieces are not shaded, or 7/8. And go ahead and say that fraction with me, 7/8. Okay, go ahead and erase your whiteboards. Let's take a look at another example. This time it says shade 2 parts of the fraction bar. So this fraction bar has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. I'm going to give you a moment to draw this fraction bar on your whiteboard. We know since there's 6 pieces, this fraction bar is broken into sixths. So get that fraction bar drawn and ready on your whiteboard. Okay, so you should have a fraction bar on your whiteboard broken into sixths. We need to shade 2 parts of the fraction bar. So go ahead and shade 1, 2 parts of that fraction bar. And the question is, when 2 parts of the fraction bar are shaded, what fraction is shaded? Go ahead and count and write down what fraction of the fraction bar you believe is shaded. And then we'll go over it together. If you count 1, 2 pieces are shaded, or 2 parts, out of we know there's 6 pieces altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2/6 of the fraction bar are shaded or colored in. 2 of those pieces out of the 6. The next question is, what part is not shaded? Go ahead and count and tell me what fraction of this fraction bar is not shaded. And write that down on your whiteboard. Okay, let's go ahead and count. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces are not shaded. We know there's 6 pieces altogether, which means that 4 out of the 6 pieces are not shaded, and we would say that is 4/6. Go ahead and say that out loud. 4/6. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at how you're going to be practicing this for your homework. It'll be IXL Skill V7, Show Fractions on Fraction Bars. So, for example, you might see a problem that says shade 1/6 of the fraction bar. This fraction bar is broken into sixths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, and it wants you to shade 1/6 of the bar. We know that 1/6 is the same as 1 piece out of 6, so then you would just shade 1 piece. Now on IXL, instead of coloring it in, all you'll have to do is click on the pieces, and as you click on them, it will automatically shade them for you. So that might make it a little bit easier. Go ahead and begin.